All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going on a hunt, a real investigation. We're on the trail of an origin story, trying to find the one LEGO set that started it all.
So let me ask you a question. What was LEGO set number 1? I mean, take a second to think about it. It feels like there should be a really simple answer, right? You're probably picturing a dusty old box with a big, bold number 1 on it. Well, as you're about to see, the real story is way more complicated and, honestly, a lot cooler.
And that's why we're calling this the hunt for set #1. Because this isn't just a simple lookup in a database. Answering this question means we have to become detectives and dig deep into LEGO's history, right back to the very beginning.
Okay, so here's the first major twist in our investigation, and it's a big one. The answer we're looking for isn't actually a number. I know, that sounds crazy. How can that possibly be? But stick with me, because this is where it gets really interesting.
So, why isn't it just a simple number? Well, the whole reason this is so complicated is that the system LEGO used to number its sets has been a moving target pretty much from day one. It's not a straight line, it's more like a tangled web. At its heart, a numbering system is just a way to give each product a unique code. Seems simple enough. The problem is, LEGO didn't just pick one system and stick with it. They've had several different ones over the decades, which makes creating a clean timeline, starting from number 1, well, pretty much impossible. You can kind of see it happen in stages. In the very early days, the numbering was, let's say, a little chaotic. Then, they brought in a more formal, structured system. And now, in the modern era, they even recycle old numbers, so you might see a set with a really low number that actually just came out. This constant evolution is the real culprit behind the mystery of set number 1.
But our investigation doesn't just hit a dead end there, because even though there's no official set number 1, dedicated LEGO historians have zeroed in on what you could call a prime suspect, one of the earliest and most important sets in the whole story.
And that number is 236. Yep, not the one we were looking for, but this number is a huge deal. This is where we start getting closer to the truth.
So let's pull the file on our suspect. Set 236 was the garage with automatic door, and it came out way back in 1956. What makes it so important is that it's one of the very first sets in what LEGO called its system of play. You could say it's one of the true ancestors of the LEGO we all know and love today.
But wait, the plot thickens. Remember how I mentioned number recycling? Well, here's where it gets wild. In recent years, there have actually been sets with the number 1 on the box, so our hunt has a whole new layer of complexity.
So it's really important to keep these two ideas separate in your head. On one hand, you've got our original quest, a historical investigation to find the first ever set. And on the other, you've got these new sets, which are just part of a modern numbering practice. They're reusing the number 1, but they aren't the first. It's a classic case of mistaken identity.
So after all that digging, all those twists and turns, what's the real answer? It turns out we were kind of asking the wrong question all along. The goal shouldn't be to find a single number. The real story, the important part, is the system itself.
And it all boils down to this simple idea. The first set isn't one box with a number on it. It's the entire history of how this incredible system of play grew and evolved over time. That's the real treasure we were hunting for. So the crucial point, the final conclusion of our investigation, is that there is no official, designated LEGO set number 1. And you know what? That's a way more fascinating answer than just finding a simple number would have been.
And all of this leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. For anything that's constantly changing and growing, not just LEGO, but technology, ideas, what does the word first truly mean? Is something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me on this hunt. I'll catch you on the next one.